Hello everyone, welcome back to your own channel, that is Commerce and Management Hub with SK. Today we are going to discuss about microeconomics, and in microeconomics we will study today production function. So firstly let us discuss that what is production function. So the meaning of production function is it refers to the functional relationship between factor inputs and factor output. In economics, we basically discuss about four factor inputs, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. And by using these inputs, we produce the output. So the relationship between these inputs and output is known as production function. So we talk about two time periods, that is short run and long run. When we talk about short run, this is a particular time period where many things can't be changed and we have to keep certain things at fixed and certain as variable. Whereas in the long run we can change everything, and here all the factors are variable. So when we are talking about short run production function, there are two factors of production, that is fixed factor and variable factor. When we talk about fixed factor, it is the factor that will not change with the change in output, whereas variable factor is the factor which change with the change in output. For example, I have 2 hectares of land. In the short run, I can't change this factor, so land will be my fixed factor. Whereas I employ labor, firstly I employ 1 unit of labor, then 2, then 3, and I can employ as many units of labor as I can. So this is the variable factor. So the factor that can be changed is the variable factor, whereas the factor which can't be changed is the fixed factor. So when we talk about short-run production function, the features of short-run production function are, here the one factor is fixed and the other is variable, like land and labor respectively. The scale of operation will remain constant and factor ratio will change. For example, in 2 hectare land, the maximum production can be 10,000 units. So I can maximum produce 10,000 units and I cannot produce more than that. So my scale of operation will remain constant because one factor is fixed. Whereas the factor ratio will change. How the factor ratio will change? In this 2 hectare of land, firstly I employ 2 units of labor, then I employ 4 units of labor, then 6 units of labor, then 8 units of labor and so on. So in this way, the ratio between the land and labor will be 2:2, then 2:4, then 2:6, then 2:8. So in this way, in the short run production function, the factor ratio will change. Now let us discuss about the law of variable proportion. This is the law which is applied in the short run production function. This law states that as more and more units of a variable factor is combined with the fixed factor, initially the marginal product of the variable factor starts increasing, but slowly and steadily it starts declining and become negative. यहाँ पर हम बात कर रहे हैं कि जब हम फिक्स फैक्टर के साथ वेरिएबल फैक्टर को कंबाइन करते हैं, कहने का मतलब मेरे पास 2 हेक्टेयर लैंड है, उस पे पहले मैंने 2 लोगों को एम्प्लॉय किया, फिर 4 लेबर के बंदे लगाए, फिर 6 लगाए, फिर 8 लगाए। तो जैसे जैसे मैं वेरिएबल फैक्टर को बढ़ाती चली जाऊंगी, जो मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट है, जो एडिशनल प्रोडक्शन है, वो स्टार्टिंग में बढ़ेगी, लेकिन जब मेरा फिक्स फैक्टर फुली यूटिलाइज हो जाएगा तो वहाँ पर धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे मैं वेरिएबल फैक्टर बढ़ाऊंगी, मेरी प्रोडक्शन जो है वो बढ़ने की बजाय क्या होनी शुरू हो जाएगी, कम होनी शुरू हो जाएगी। और एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा जब ये जो एडिशनल प्रोडक्शन है, मार्जिनल प्रोडक्शन है, ये नेगेटिव हो जाएगी। Assumptions of law of variable proportion. Number 1, one factor is fixed and the other is variable, as we have already discussed that law of variable proportion is applied in short run, and in short run one factor is fixed and the other is variable. Secondly, all the elements of variable factor are equally efficient. It means all the units of labor that you are employing, whether 1, 2, 3, 4, every person is equally efficient. Third, factor ratio will change. Factor ratio will change means on this 1 hectare of land, firstly employ 1 person, then 2, then 3, then 4. So the ratio will change, 1:1, 1:2, 1:3 in this way. Now let me show you the curve and the schedule of law of variable proportion. Firstly, the schedule refers to the tabular presentation. So here we have taken land as the fixed factor, 1 hectare of land, and it is constant. And then as the variable factor we have taken labor, which is changing, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And as we have discussed in the law of variable proportion, that marginal product will firstly increase, then it will decrease, then become 0 and negative. See, firstly it is increasing, 2 3 4, then it is decreasing, 3 2 1, then 0, and then negative, that is -1. So if we talk about TP, see, the TP is increasing at increasing rate. Firstly it is 2, then it is 5, then it is 9. It means firstly the increment in TP, that is 5 minus 2, it is the increment of 3, and then 9 minus 5, it is the increment of 4. It means TP is increasing at that too at an increasing rate. After that, the TP is still increasing, but the rate is decreasing. How? 12 minus 9, the difference is 3, then 14 minus 12, the difference is 2, and then 15 minus 14, the difference is 1. It means initially when the MP was increasing, TP is also increasing, but at increasing rate. And after that, when MP is decreasing, TP is still increasing, but the rate is decreasing. It means the addition to TP is less. When the MP is 0, TP is maximum, MP is 0 and TP is 15. And when MP is negative, that is -1, TP starts declining. From 15 it has become 14. So it means here from this schedule we can say that on the basis of law of variable proportion, MP will firstly increase, then it will decrease, then it will become 0 and negative. If we'll see the curve, see how the MP is increasing and then decreasing, 0 and negative, and how the TP curve is changing its shape. Now we can say about the stages of return to factor. When we talk about law of variable proportion, the outcome of law of variable proportion is the stages of return to factor. There are 3 stages of return to factor, that is increasing return to factor, diminishing return to factor, and negative return to factor. We can say it as the explanation of law of variable proportion. For example, the first stage is increasing return to factor. As we have discussed in the schedule earlier, that when MP of the variable factor is increasing initially, TP is also increasing at increasing rate. So this stage is the increasing return to factor. After that, we have seen in the schedule that MP is decreasing, but TP is still increasing, but the rate of addition to TP is less. It means when MP of variable factor decreases, TP will increase, but at a decreasing rate. And the last stage is negative return to factor. It includes that when MP of the variable factor was 0, TP was maximum, and when MP is negative, TP starts declining, as we have seen in the schedule. So basically, when we talk about law of variable proportion, it is applied when one factor is fixed and the other is variable. And here when we combine the fixed factor with the variable factor, the fixed factor get excessively utilized, and initially MP increase, but slowly and steadily MP starts declining, becoming 0 and negative. And here the returns to factor and its stages apply. So thank you very much. I hope you like the video. If you like it, kindly like, share and subscribe, and press the bell icon for further updates.